The city was alive with hums, whirs, and distant flashes of neon. Flying cars zipped between skyscrapers. Autonomous vehicles glided silently along roads, and drones floated above, delivering everything from food to gadgets. Yet, amidst all this technology, Alex preferred driving the old-fashioned way. Not because he didn't like machines, he loved them, but because he trusted human judgment more than any algorithm. It was a bright Tuesday morning when Alex got the alert. His schedule flashed across the screen of his vehicle's control panel. VIP assignment. Dr. Ilara Voss. He took a deep breath, adjusting the rearview mirror. Today wasn't just another commute. It was the day he'd drive the CEO of Voss Technologies, one of the largest AI and robotics companies in the city. Alex had heard stories about Dr. Voss. Brilliant, precise, and sharp as a laser. She was known for building machines smarter than most humans. Yet she valued efficiency above all else. Some said she never smiled. Some said she trusted only data. Alex wasn't intimidated. He trusted himself. He arrived at her apartment building promptly. The doors slid open smoothly as Alex maneuvered his sleek, human-driven vehicle into the pickup bay. Within seconds, the sound of footsteps echoed from above. She appeared a woman in her early 30s, tall, confident, and sharply dressed in a smart silver blazer that caught the morning light. Her eyes scanned the car interior with the curiosity of a scientist inspecting a new prototype. "Good morning, mister?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "Alex, ma'am." "Alex Hart," he replied politely, opening the door for her. Her lips curved into the faintest hint of a smile. "Alex. Good. I like punctuality." She stepped in, placing her bag neatly on the seat beside her. The hum of the car's engine felt alive as Alex started the drive. The city outside seemed to respond to them. Flying taxis zoomed past, and holographic billboards blinked messages in bright colors. But inside the car, it was calm. Alex knew every shortcut, every narrow alley, every tricky curve that automated vehicles would hesitate to navigate. "So," Dr. Voss began, leaning slightly forward, "you're really driving this yourself?" Alex kept his eyes on the road but allowed a small smile. "Yes, ma'am. Sometimes human judgment can see what machines cannot." She tilted her head. "Interesting." Then, after a short pause, she asked the question Alex hadn't expected. "You're really single?" Alex's hands tightened slightly on the wheel. He hadn't expected this. Not today. Not on a VIP assignment. Yes, ma'am," he stammered. Feeling his face warm, she leaned back, eyes twinkling with amusement, but didn't press further. "Curious. Most people like to pretend they're busy or married. You're refreshingly honest." Alex didn't know whether to feel flattered or flustered. He focused back on the road, steering smoothly through the congested lanes. The city was already buzzing with minor chaos. Autonomous delivery drones zipped around like miniature birds, sometimes colliding in midair. Some vehicles had minor software glitches, slowing traffic. Alex, however, was unbothered. He saw the patterns, the rhythms, the tiny gaps between chaos that machines often missed. His mind worked like a well-oiled algorithm, but faster, more flexible, more human. As they drove past the neon-lit financial district, Dr. Voss glanced out the window. "I always wondered," she said, voice casual but curious, "why people still insist on human drivers when AI can do it perfectly." Alex smiled, glancing at her briefly. "Perfect machines aren't always safe machines. Humans can predict mistakes before they happen. We can improvise." Her lips curled slightly, approving. "Improvisation. That's an interesting word for the 22nd century. Very human." For a moment, silence fell in the car. Not an uncomfortable silence, but a calm one. The kind of silence that happens when two people share the same space, and each is intrigued by the other's mind. Then, a notification pinged. A minor traffic disruption, a delivery drone had malfunctioned and blocked the road ahead. Automated vehicles slowed, waited, or rerouted. But Alex saw another option. A narrow side lane ran parallel to the main road. A drone was hovering dangerously above it, its sensors flickering. If he timed it right, he did. Alex accelerated slightly, sliding the car into the side lane, maneuvering expertly between the drone and other vehicles. The hum of the engine blended with the soft whoosh of wind as he sailed through the gap. Dr. Voss's eyes widened. That was impressive. Alex shrugged modestly. Just doing my job. Humans, she muttered, almost to herself. Still have some surprises left. They continued, and soon the skyline of the corporate district rose ahead. Massive towers of steel and glass reflecting the morning sun. The main office building of Voss Technologies gleamed at the center, a monument to innovation. Alex took the car slowly through the security checkpoint. Unlike most buildings that relied entirely on AI, this one still had a human verification system. And Alex appreciated it. He parked the car and turned to her. "We're here, ma'am." Alara stepped out gracefully. "Thank you, Alex. I must admit, I didn't expect the ride to be entertaining." Alex chuckled softly. "Entertainment is optional, ma'am. Safety is required." She smiled briefly, then turned toward the building, her heels clicking against the marble floor. Alex watched her go for a moment, then stepped out to retrieve her bag. There was something magnetic about her, not just her brilliance, but the way she commanded the world around her without even trying. As he watched her disappear inside, he couldn't help but think about her question again. "You're really single?" It wasn't just a casual remark. There was curiosity there, something about her interest, subtle but unmistakable, made him realize that human connections still mattered, even in a world dominated by machines and AI. For now, though, his role was simple. Get her to the office safely, and leave the rest to the day. But Alex knew that today might hold surprises, beyond traffic and drones. And somehow, he felt that his human intuition, the very thing that machines could never replicate, was about to be needed in ways he couldn't yet imagine. As he drove away from the building, the city seemed to stretch endlessly, full of possibilities. Drones buzzed, vehicles zipped past, and holographic advertisements flickered with promises of convenience. Yet Alex felt a quiet satisfaction, knowing that humans clever, adaptable, and unpredictable still had a place in this world. And maybe, just maybe, a new kind of story was beginning between him and the brilliant CEO who had asked a simple, curious question. The office tower of Voss Technologies gleamed under the morning sun, its glass walls reflecting the bustling city below. Inside, the lobby was already alive, with the soft hum of machines, the whir of drones delivering documents, and the low chatter of employees. But despite the automated efficiency of the building, today something felt slightly off. Alex followed Dr. Alara Voss into the main elevator. The doors closed, and the quiet hum of the lift surrounded them. He couldn't help but notice the way she observed the building. Each sensor, each display, each automated assistant with sharp, analytical eyes. She didn't just walk through her company. She measured it, evaluated it, and understood it. "Do you ever get tired of all this automation?" Alex asked, keeping his voice low so no one else would overhear. Alara's eyes flicked to him, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "Sometimes. Machines are efficient, yes, but they don't feel. They don't notice. They don't improvise like humans do." Alex nodded, feeling a quiet pride. He knew exactly what she meant. Machines were precise, predictable, and perfect in many ways, but they lacked the spark of unpredictability that humans thrived on. The elevator reached the top floor with a soft ding. Employees bustled past them, heading toward their workstations or meetings. Alex followed Alara through the main corridors, his eyes scanning the monitors that lined the walls. Everything appeared normal, until a small red alert flashed across the central security display. "Anomaly detected," a calm AI voice announced. Alara stopped in her tracks, her eyes narrowing. "What kind of anomaly?" she asked, walking quickly to the main security terminal. Alex followed closely. The screen displayed a grid of the building's internal systems. Security cameras flickered, showing employees moving in the hallways, drones hovering, and the usual bustle of the office. But then, a bright red icon blinked near the main data center. A security AI module had gone into lockdown mode, restricting access and activating internal safety protocols. That's unusual, Alara murmured, her fingers flying across the touchpad. This AI should only react to external threats. There's no reason for it to lock down now. Alex stepped closer, curious. Could it be a malfunction? Possibly, Alara replied, eyes fixed on the screen. Or it could be a software glitch in the new update we installed last night. Either way, the system is overreacting. It could trap employees inside, or even restrict critical operations. Alex felt a familiar spark of adrenaline. He wasn't afraid of machines. In fact, he thrived on challenges like this, especially when human lives or company operations were at stake. I can help, he said. I know a few manual overrides the AI doesn't expect. Alara glanced at him, impressed. Really? You've studied the old systems? Not studied, exactly, Alex said with a grin. I've worked with them. Sometimes old-school knowledge comes in handy when modern systems fail. Alara nodded, her expression sharp but appreciative. Good. Then we'll do this together. But we need to move fast. They made their way to the internal security hub, a sleek room filled with monitors, control panels, and glowing holographic projections. The AI's red warnings pulsed across the screens, highlighting the areas of concern. Employees outside the room were beginning to notice the alerts. Some exchanging worried glances. Alex immediately began inspecting the controls. Unlike the AI, which followed strict rules and patterns, he scanned the system for irregularities that only a human could notice. He traced the AI's logic, identifying the triggers that caused the lockdown. Alara, he said, pointing to a holographic display. See this loop? The AI keeps interpreting a minor power fluctuation as a potential threat. It's too literal, too rigid. We can override it manually, but we need to do it carefully. Alara leaned over his shoulder, her eyes lighting up with interest. Exactly. It's acting like a machine trapped in its own logic. Humans, however, we can think outside the loop. They began working together, coordinating their actions. Alex handled the manual overrides, tracing wires and inputting commands the AI couldn't anticipate. Alara monitored the system, predicting the AI's next move, and offering suggestions to counter its logic. Despite the calm exterior, tension built in the room. The AI flashed new warnings every few seconds, trying to isolate them from the system. But Alex and Alara anticipated each move, improvising faster than the machine could adapt. At one point, a small drone appeared in the room, meant to deliver documents. Its sensors flickered as it detected the AI's erratic commands, hovering uncertainly in the air. Alex quickly guided it to a safe corner, preventing it from colliding with the control panels. Alara laughed softly, a sound that felt surprisingly warm in the tense room. You really do think of everything. Alex shrugged, a modest smile on his face. Old habits die hard. As they worked, Alex realized something else. This wasn't just about overriding the AI. It was about human creativity. The AI could predict patterns, but it couldn't anticipate improvisation. It couldn't understand intuition or judgment. And that was their advantage. After several minutes of careful maneuvering, Alex reached the final override switch. This is it, he said, voice steady. One wrong move, and the AI could lock down more systems. Alara placed a hand on his shoulder. You've got this. Remember, it's not about force, it's about thinking. Alex took a deep breath, then pressed the sequence. The AI hesitated for a moment, its circuits calculating the unexpected commands. Then, one by one, the red alerts disappeared. The lockdown ended, and normal operations resumed. A cheer went up from employees monitoring the system remotely. Alex leaned back, exhausted but satisfied. Alara turned to him, her eyes bright with admiration. You did it, she said simply. You really did it. Alex smiled, though he remained humble. We did it. Your guidance helped too. Ilara studied him for a moment, a subtle curiosity in her gaze. I suppose this proves it. Humans are still capable of extraordinary things. Alex chuckled softly. Extraordinary, yes. Predictable? Not so much. She laughed lightly, and for a moment, the tension melted. Alex realized that despite the high-tech world around them, there was something irreplaceable about human intuition, judgment, and courage. Machines could calculate and predict, but humans could adapt, improvise, and connect the dots that no algorithm could foresee. As they left the security hub, Ilara walked beside Alex, her steps confident and deliberate. You know, she said casually, I've met many experts in this building. But few can handle surprises like you do. Alex felt a quiet pride. He didn't need praise. But her words mattered. They weren't just recognizing skill, they acknowledged human ingenuity in a world increasingly dominated by machines. Thank you, he replied simply. It's part of the job. But more than that, she added, glancing at him. It's part of being human. Alex nodded. He didn't need to say more. The AI lockdown had been a challenge, but it had also been a reminder. Humans were still essential, still capable of brilliance, and still vital to the future, even one built on advanced technology. As they walked toward her office, Alex thought about the morning's events. The city outside was still buzzing, full of machines, drones, and artificial intelligence. Yet inside that high-tech tower, a simple truth had proven itself once again. Human intuition, creativity, and courage could solve problems that even the most advanced AI could not. And as for the small, lingering question she had asked earlier, "You're really single?" Alex realized it didn't matter right now. Today had been about proving something bigger than personal matters. Today had been about showing that humans, no matter how small or ordinary they might seem, still had the power to shape the world around them. Ilara opened the door to her office, and Alex followed. He didn't know what the rest of the day would bring. But one thing was clear. In a city of machines, humans still had a story to tell, and he was part of it. The office of Voss Technologies was calm now, the red warnings of the AI lockdown erased, and employees returning to their usual routines. But Alex knew that this calm was only temporary. Machines were precise, yes, but they could also be unpredictable, especially when a system had already misbehaved once in a single morning. Ilara's office was spacious and minimalistic, with tall glass walls giving a panoramic view of the city below. The sunlight glinted off the polished surfaces, and a few holographic screens displayed graphs, charts, and news updates. Alex followed her in, still feeling a mixture of pride and curiosity. You handled that well, Ilara said, leaning against her desk. Most people would have panicked or called for tech support. You improvised. Alex smiled, shrugging. Improvisation is sometimes faster than protocols. Machines are fast, but they follow rules. Humans can bend rules in the right way. Ilara walked to the large screen at the center of the room. I agree. But let's not celebrate just yet. The anomaly wasn't natural. Someone or something triggered it. I want to find out why, before it happens again. Alex frowned. Do you think it was sabotage? Not sure, she said. Could be a software glitch. Could be an external hack. Or less likely, just a rare coincidence. But either way, the system's response tells me one thing. We need a human touch in managing our critical operations. Alex nodded. He understood immediately. Even in a company built on AI, robots, and automation, humans were still indispensable. Ilara tapped on the screen, bringing up a detailed map of the building's internal network. Each department, each terminal, each drone was represented in glowing lines and icons. We need to trace the anomaly's source, and I want you to help me. Alex's eyebrows rose. Me? You want me on this? Yes, she said simply. Your instincts with machines proved effective. I think together we can understand what went wrong and prevent it from happening again. They moved toward the central network hub, a high-tech room filled with consoles and holographic interfaces. Alex felt a familiar excitement. This was his element, thinking, improvising, and predicting in ways machines could not. Alara activated the hub, and streams of data began to flow across the room. Each screen displayed complex codes, algorithms, and system logs. Alex examined them carefully, noticing patterns that seemed irregular. Small anomalies in data transfer, minor timing errors in drone navigation, unusual activity in one specific server. "This is interesting," Alex murmured. "See this cluster here? These tiny glitches shouldn't happen simultaneously. Something is interfering, but it's subtle, almost like it's hiding." Alara leaned closer. "Good observation. That's exactly why a human perspective is needed. The AI might flag the problem too late, or not at all." Alex nodded, feeling the thrill of the challenge. Together, they traced the anomalies, following the invisible trail left in the system. It required both human reasoning and intuition. Alex, noticing patterns. Alara, verifying logic. The AI could handle calculations, but it couldn't combine intuition and observation the way humans could. Hours passed. Their teamwork became seamless. Alex guided her through subtle manual adjustments to the network, showing how the system could be realigned without triggering further errors. Alara suggested checks and balances, ways to anticipate how the AI might react if the anomalies continued. At one point, a small drone hovered near the hub, sensors blinking erratically. Alex quickly redirected it to a safe docking station. Alara watched, impressed. "You think of everything," she said again. Alex laughed softly. "It's all part of understanding the system, not just reading numbers, but reading behavior." Their investigation revealed something remarkable. The anomaly wasn't caused by a human hacker or an external virus. It was a rare software glitch amplified by the AI's overzealous self-protection protocols. The system had misread minor fluctuations as critical threats. Alara's eyes sparkled as she studied Alex. "See? This is why humans are essential. Machines calculate, but humans understand. You saw the problem before the AI could even react." Alex smiled, feeling a quiet pride. It wasn't just about solving the glitch, it was about proving that human ingenuity could match, and sometimes surpass, even the most advanced technology. "But we need to prevent this in the future," Alara continued, her tone shifting back to business. "I want a system that can self-correct without shutting down the building. Can you help design that?" Alex's eyes brightened. "Absolutely. We can combine AI efficiency with human oversight. The AI can handle routine operations, but humans intervene when the unexpected happens." Alara nodded. "Perfect. Let's start." They spent the next several hours working together, adjusting algorithms, testing simulations, and creating protocols that blended human judgment with machine precision. Alex suggested subtle manual override triggers, emergency alerts designed for human interpretation, and contingency plans that allowed flexibility without risking safety. Alara integrated these suggestions into the central AI system, ensuring both efficiency and reliability. During a short break, Alex looked out the glass walls at the city below. Flying taxis moved like colorful fish in a stream. Drones zipped past like dragonflies, and pedestrians navigated the streets with the confidence of familiarity. Yet amidst all the technology, Alex felt a quiet satisfaction. Humans were still capable of creativity, adaptability, and problem-solving, the things no AI could fully replicate. Alara walked up beside him, sipping a cup of synthetic coffee. "You know," she said casually, "most people would have given up hours ago, but you stayed calm, thought ahead, and improvised." Alex shrugged, feeling slightly embarrassed by the praise. "It's all about staying focused and watching patterns. Machines have rules, but humans see connections." She smiled faintly. "I suppose that's why you're still single." You think too much? Notice too much? But you also handle surprises better than anyone I've met. Alex blinked, slightly taken aback. Her comment reminded him of their morning conversation, the question she had asked. He smiled nervously, realizing she was not only impressed by his skill but also curious about him as a person. Maybe, he said, scratching the back of his neck. Elara laughed softly, a sound that was both warm and rare. It's refreshing, she said. Most people hide behind routines or automation. You don't. The next few hours passed quickly. They ran tests, monitored drones, and adjusted protocols. Every time an anomaly appeared in the simulation, Alex and Elara improvised, adapting faster than the AI could predict. The office staff began to notice, some stopping by to watch their unusual teamwork. A few commented quietly on how impressive it was to see human and machine working together under guidance, not just relying on automation alone. Finally, as the sun began to dip toward the horizon, signaling the end of the workday, Elara leaned back in her chair, satisfied. I think we've done it. A system that combines human intuition with AI efficiency. Nothing like this exists anywhere else in the world. Alex smiled. Humans still have a place, even in a world dominated by technology. She studied him for a moment, her eyes thoughtful. Yes. And maybe. Some humans are irreplaceable. Alex felt his heart skip slightly. Her comment wasn't about work, it had a subtle warmth, a recognition of value beyond skills or tasks. He realized then that today wasn't just about fixing glitches or outsmarting machines. It was about proving the unique power of humans, and perhaps even forming a connection that transcended the technical world around them. As they left the network hub, Alex felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. The day had started with a simple commute and a flustered conversation, but it had evolved into a demonstration of human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. Machines were powerful, but humans curious, clever, and unpredictable remained essential. Elara walked beside him, her expression lighter than it had been all day. You know, she said with a faint smile, I've met many brilliant minds, but few have your combination of calm, cleverness, and quick thinking. You stand out. Alex chuckled softly. I just try to do my best. Your best is extraordinary, she replied, turning her gaze back to the city below. As they prepared to leave the office, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. Technology would continue to evolve, and machines would grow more intelligent every day. But humans would always bring something unique to the table: imagination, intuition, and courage. And perhaps, he thought quietly, that human touch could also be the start of something unexpected. A connection that no algorithm could calculate, no protocol could predict. The evening settled over the city, casting golden reflections across the glass towers. Inside Voss Technologies, the hum of the building felt different, now calmer, yet charged with anticipation. Alex and Elara had spent hours earlier perfecting the hybrid system, blending human intuition with AI efficiency. Yet as they left the network hub, a new alert pinged on the main security console. Alex frowned, his instincts alert. Another anomaly? Elara glanced at the display. The AI had detected unusual activity across multiple floors. It wasn't minor this time, it was a system-wide irregularity, affecting drones, internal communications, and automated logistics. The building wasn't in lockdown yet, but it was teetering on the edge. This could escalate quickly, Elara said. If we don't intervene, the AI might overreact again, causing a complete shutdown. Alex nodded. Then we need to act fast. Full manual oversight. They moved swiftly toward the central command floor. The elevator hummed upward, carrying them past screens that displayed every corner of the building. Red and yellow alerts blinked like stars, each one representing a system misinterpreting normal activity as a threat. Employees nearby were unsure what to do, some hesitating while drones hovered above their desks in confusion. Elara tapped a command, bringing up a comprehensive overview. This is bigger than the earlier glitch. The AI is trying to predict every possible threat. It's overwhelmed by its own calculations. If we don't step in, It will freeze operations entirely. Alex's mind raced. He studied the patterns, how the AI interpreted sensor readings, drone trajectories, and security logs. It's trying to control everything at once, he said. But it's overextending. Machines don't improvise well, they rely on predictable input. We need to work where it's weakest. Ilara looked at him, impressed. And where is that? Alex pointed to a series of minor control nodes, the kind the AI assumed were routine but actually held the key to its decision-making. Here, if we adjust these, we can guide it without forcing a full shutdown. We'll trick it into self-correction. Ilara smiled faintly. I like that plan. Humans outsmarting machines. They approach the control nodes, a complex network of panels and touch-sensitive screens. Alex guided Ilara through subtle adjustments, carefully recalibrating sensors and communication protocols. The AI responded instantly, but Alex anticipated every counteraction. Unlike machines, he could improvise when the unexpected happened. A small fleet of delivery drones approached the command floor, their sensors flickering as the AI tried to recall them. Alex manually rerouted them to prevent collisions while maintaining workflow. Ilara monitored the central display, suggesting strategic adjustments to ensure the AI interpreted the changes as standard operations. Minutes passed, the tension in the room building. Each time a new alert appeared, Alex reacted faster, adjusting settings, recalibrating sensors, and guiding drones. Ilara's keen analytical mind complemented his improvisation, predicting patterns the AI might follow. Together, they were a human-AI team stronger than the system itself. At one point, a sudden network surge caused a cluster of drones to hover erratically near the main control nodes. Alex didn't panic. He moved quickly, guiding the drones to safe zones while rerouting their sensors to prevent interference. Ilara watched, fascinated by his calm efficiency. You handle surprises like a pro, she said, admiration in her voice. Alex chuckled softly. It's what humans do best. We adapt. Finally, they reached the heart of the system. The main AI core. The red warnings blinked furiously. The system predicting multiple cascading failures. Alex glanced at Ilara. This is it. One wrong move and the AI could shut down the entire building. Ilara nodded. We do it together. I'll handle monitoring. You execute the overrides. Alex took a deep breath. He pressed a sequence of commands that rerouted data flow, stabilizing the AI's calculations. The system hesitated, then began to respond predictably, recalibrating itself without locking down the building. Ilara's face lit up. It's working! Alex smiled, relieved. He continued carefully, monitoring each response, making subtle corrections. Slowly, the alerts disappeared, one by one. The building's systems returned to normal, drones resumed their tasks, communication lines cleared, and operations flowed smoothly again. A wave of relief washed over both of them. Employees watching from nearby workstations applauded quietly, impressed by what they had just witnessed. A machine alone could not have solved this problem. It was human intuition, creativity, and quick thinking that had saved the day. Ilara turned to Alex, her eyes shining with appreciation. You did it. We did it. The building never needed a full lockdown, because humans stepped in when it mattered most. Alex shrugged modestly. It was teamwork. The AI did its job too, but we filled in the gaps it couldn't handle. She smiled faintly, then studied him with something more than professional admiration. You know, most people in this building rely entirely on machines. They forget that humans can improvise, predict, and adapt. You reminded me why humans are still irreplaceable. Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Her words weren't just praise, they were recognition of something deeper. Human courage, intelligence, and adaptability mattered, even in a world dominated by AI. As the evening light faded, they walked toward the office lounge. Alex noticed a subtle change in Ilara's demeanor. She was lighter, more relaxed. Perhaps she had expected machines to handle everything. But today, she had seen humans shine in ways no algorithm could predict. You know, she said casually, I've met many brilliant minds in this building. But few could handle this kind of pressure with such calm and ingenuity. Alex smiled softly. Humans have that advantage. We can improvise, take risks, and think outside the pattern. Machines can't, Ilara nodded. Exactly. And I think that's why some humans are irreplaceable. Known with tongue, her words lingered in the air. A reminder that despite all the advanced technology, human skill and judgment were invaluable. Alex felt a sense of pride. Not arrogance, but satisfaction. They had not only saved the building from potential chaos, but had also proved a fundamental truth. Humans could still outshine machines when it counted most. As they settled in the lounge, the city lights twinkling below, Alex reflected on the day. It had started with a simple commute, a question about his personal life, and a routine morning drive, but it had evolved into something extraordinary, a demonstration of human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. Ilara glanced at him, her tone lighter now. You know, you handled today better than I expected. I was worried, but you stayed calm, thought ahead, and adapted faster than the AI could even process. Alex chuckled softly. It's not about being faster, it's about being aware, predicting, and improvising. Machines can calculate, but they don't adapt the same way humans do. She nodded, a thoughtful smile crossing her face. I suppose that's why humans will always matter. Algorithms can predict, machines can calculate. But humans can innovate. For the first time that day, Alex felt he could relax. The building was safe, operations were stable, and the AI was running smoothly under the new human-assisted protocols. But more than that, he felt a subtle connection with Ilara. She respected his skills, valued his judgment, and perhaps saw something uniquely human in him that machines could never replicate. As they prepared to leave the lounge, Ilara looked at Alex and said softly, You proved something today. Not just to me, but to the building, the employees, and even the AI itself. Humans are still vital, and some humans, like you, are exceptional. Alex felt a warmth spread through him. Today had been more than just a challenge, it had been a reminder of why he loved what he did. Technology could do incredible things, but humans were the heart of progress, the spark of innovation, and the final line of defense when systems failed. And perhaps, he realized with a quiet smile, humans could also spark connections and relationships that no algorithm could calculate, predict, or replicate. As the night settled over the city, Alex walked beside Ilara toward the exit. The streets below glimmered with neon lights and flying vehicles, a testament to progress and technology. Yet inside the tower, a simple truth had been proven. Human intuition, courage, and ingenuity could still triumph against even the most advanced machines. And as Alex glanced at Ilara, he knew that their teamwork had forged more than just a technical victory. It had forged respect, admiration, and perhaps the beginning of a human connection that no machine could ever understand. The AI had been strong, precise, and capable. But humans were unpredictable, creative, and irreplaceable. And today, that truth had never been clearer. The next morning, sunlight poured into the Voss Technologies building, glinting off the glass walls and highlighting the sleek corridors. The city outside hummed with activity, flying taxis weaving between skyscrapers, drones carrying deliveries, and pedestrians navigating the streets with practiced efficiency. Inside, however, a sense of calm and accomplishment settled over the office. Alex walked beside Ilara toward her office, a quiet energy between them. Yesterday had been intense, a test of human intuition against the AI's rigidity. Today, the building functioned flawlessly under the new hybrid system they had designed. Every employee had noticed the improvements, and the AI's adjustments now included human oversight protocols that prevented future errors. Ilara opened her office door and gestured for Alex to sit. She poured herself a cup of synthetic coffee and offered one to him. Alex accepted with a smile. The hum of machines in the background felt different now, less mechanical, more cooperative, almost as if the AI itself had learned to respect human judgment. You know, Ilara began, leaning back in her chair. Yesterday, I saw something I hadn't seen in a long time. Two? Alex raised an eyebrow. Oh? And what was that? Humans stepping up, she said, her voice soft but firm. Machines are precise, but predictable. Yesterday, I saw how you handled the unexpected, how you improvised, and how you stayed calm under pressure. It reminded me that humans are not obsolete, not in technology, not in life, not anywhere. Alex felt a quiet pride. He had always known this, but hearing it from someone as brilliant and accomplished as Ilara made it resonate differently. Thank you, he said simply. I just do what makes sense, think ahead, and adapt when necessary. That's what humans do best. Ilara smiled faintly. Exactly. Adaptability, intuition, creativity, things machines can calculate, but cannot truly understand or feel. You reminded me of that. For a moment, they sat in silence, watching the sunlight dance across the polished floor. The building buzzed softly around them, but the tension of yesterday had lifted. Alex thought about the glitches, the AI's miscalculations, the drone's erratic movements. All of it had been chaos. But the chaos had revealed something deeper. Human ingenuity could guide, correct, and improve even the most advanced systems. You know, Ilara said after a pause, her tone lighter now. I've been thinking about your morning answer yesterday. Alex's stomach tightened slightly. The question? He asked cautiously. She nodded, a playful glint in her eyes. Yes. About being single. Most people dodge questions like that, but you were honest. That honesty, combined with your skill and calm, makes you unusual. And I like that. Alex felt his cheeks warm. He had been flustered when she first asked, unsure how to respond. But now, with the chaos of the previous day behind them, he realized he could smile without hesitation. I appreciate that, he said. It's not something I usually talk about, but I guess honesty is simpler. Ilara leaned back, thoughtful. Yes. Honesty, adaptability, courage. These are traits that make humans exceptional. Traits that machines can never replicate. Alex nodded, feeling a deep connection to her words. It wasn't just about the work they shared, a mutual respect, an understanding that transcended tasks or titles. Humans were irreplaceable, and this moment between them reflected that truth on a personal level as well. They spent the next hour reviewing the new system's performance. Alex explained subtle adjustments to the AI's logic, while Ilara suggested ways to integrate predictive human oversight in routine operations. They debated minor details, laughed over small mistakes in the simulations, and celebrated small victories. Each exchange reinforced the truth they had both realized. Collaboration between human creativity and machine efficiency was far more powerful than either alone. After their work, they stepped out onto the office balcony. The city stretched below them, alive with neon lights beginning to glow as evening approached. Flying taxis created streaks of color against the fading sunlight. Drones buzzed softly, and the streets glimmered with energy. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the sun on his face and the cool breeze from above. Ilara glanced at him, a faint smile on her lips. You know, this building, this company, it could run perfectly on AI alone. But yesterday proved it couldn't. Humans are the difference between perfect operation and meaningful operation. And some humans, like you, are extraordinary. Alex felt a quiet sense of pride and humility. I just think. I adapt. I observe. That's all any human can do. Really. She studied him for a moment, her expression thoughtful. It's more than that. It's courage, intuition, and judgment. Things you can't teach a machine. Things that machines will never have. Alex smiled. It was true, no matter how advanced technology became, humans had something unique. Creativity, problem-solving, and emotional intelligence. And these traits, combined with machines, created possibilities no one could imagine. For a long moment, they stood side by side, watching the city below. The world was moving faster than ever. Machines taking over tasks humans once handled. AI predicting outcomes with incredible precision. Yet in that moment, Alex realized that humans, curious, clever, and unpredictable, still had a critical role. They were the heart of progress, the spark of innovation, and the final safeguard when systems failed. You know, Elara said softly, breaking the silence, I think we make a good team, humans and machines, working together. But humans like you still lead the way when things go wrong. Alex felt a warmth spread through him. Her words weren't just praise, they were recognition. Acknowledgement that his skills mattered in a world dominated by AI. And perhaps, they also hinted at something more personal. I think so too, he replied, a small smile on his face. Machines are great. But humans, we see what machines can't. We adapt, improvise, and find solutions that no algorithm could predict. Elara laughed softly, a light, genuine sound. Yes, and that's why humans will always matter. We're not obsolete, Alex. Not in this building. Not in this city. Not in the world. Alex nodded, feeling a sense of hope and purpose. The city below continued its rhythm, a mix of technology and human activity, but he knew that humans were still essential, not just for survival, but for progress, innovation, and connection. Elara's tone shifted slightly, gentler now. And maybe, some humans are irreplaceable too. Alex glanced at her, understanding her meaning. It wasn't just about skills or intelligence, it was about character, integrity, and the ability to act when it mattered most. I understand, he said softly, feeling a quiet thrill. They returned to the office, where the employees were finishing their day, moving with efficiency but also with the reassurance of knowing that human judgment had guided the system through its challenges. Alex felt a quiet pride, not arrogance, but fulfillment. He had contributed, adapted, and proven that humans still mattered. As the workday ended, Elara walked beside Alex toward the elevator. Today wasn't just about fixing glitches or recalibrating systems, she said. It was a reminder humans are capable of extraordinary things: courage, creativity, intuition. These are our strengths. And when we combine them with machines, the possibilities are endless. Alex nodded, feeling the truth in her words. Technology was powerful, but humans gave it meaning. Humans gave it direction. Humans could improvise, adapt, and innovate in ways no AI could. As the elevator doors closed, he looked at Elara, smiling. I think we've proven something important. Humans still matter. And we still have a story to tell. She returned his smile, her eyes warm. Yes. And that story is only beginning. The elevator descended, taking them toward the bustling streets of the city. Outside, flying taxis streaked across the sky. Drones zipped past like tiny stars, and neon signs flickered with endless energy. Yet amidst all the technology, Alex knew one thing with certainty. Humans, with their courage, creativity, and intuition, were still irreplaceable. And some humans, like him and Elara, could change the world in ways no machine ever could. And as they stepped out into the city, side by side, Alex realized that this was only the beginning, not just of a system perfected through human ingenuity, but perhaps of something more personal. A connection forged through trust, respect, and shared triumph. The city moved around them, alive with progress. But humans were at its heart, and as long as humans continued to think, adapt, and act, the future was theirs to shape, bright, bold, and full of possibilities.